Welcome back to the Real Couchwives podcast, where we overanalyze all things Bravo. This week, we are talking about Scheana Shay and all the revelations in her book, My Good Side.
Yes, all the juicy gossip in Sheena's book that she decided to grace us with. But before we get into it, we do have to call out our kind of extended hiatus that we have been on. We are so sorry. It's been a little bit. It's been a couple months. In the meantime, I got married. Yay! Iris and I went to Italy. We had a great Italian adventure. And Iris moved.
Yeah.
Still in the UK, though.
Yeah, just in a new location.
Yeah, so it's been a busy summer. We'll talk all about it a little bit at the end of the episode. But we are back and better than ever. No better way to start than Scheana Shay putting out a tell-all, because she was like, it's been 2.5 minutes since someone has spoken about me. I've only shown up on the Valley a couple times, so you must look at me on my good side, not my bad side.
Not my bad side. Even though this book also might really feel her bad side too, a little bit, but
or at least Brock's bad side. That's for sure.
Certainly Brock's bad side. And it's done an incredible job. It's really ensured that she gets her bag. She has made it onto the New York Times bestseller list, so congratulations to Scheana for that. And it seemingly allowed her to get onto season 3 of The Valley. So, you know, but we've made our bed.
According to her, this is not why she did it. No. She was actually always on the Valley. She was on the Valley since it wasn't even the Valley, because season 10 of VPR was supposed to be that. So
exactly,
Scheana mathing is that she was always on
the Valley. She's never been off the Valley, and she's a fighter. She's a survivor. That is for sure. She is the cockroach that cannot be killed. Speaking of cockroaches,
wow, beautiful.
Yeah, it's poetic, right? So I think we obviously have to start at the end of this book, which is the revelation about Brock and the cheating scandal and all of that. Obviously, you know, she does take this opportunity, and she kind of like, it was one of the first things that really we found out about that was going to come out in this book, is the fact that the Brock had cheated on her. And we find out the timeline of the fact that, you know, like basically the cheating happened while she was pregnant with Summer Moon, but she only heard about it or found out about it like a year after Scandival happened. And Summer was already like 2, and they'd been married twice, and all of this stuff had already happened, so it was a little bit too late. But she didn't decide to put it on Vanderpump Rules. She decided to save it for the memoir. So here we are.
Yeah. I have so many thoughts about this. Yeah. Like, this is we thought we could not hate Brock more.
No.
But once again, he has showed us that the level of hatred does not exist. Nope. And yeah, he just stand-up dude.
Yeah,
real
totally,
great.
Totally.
But also just like the fact that they kept this off the show. So this means she found out in season 11, I guess.
Before season 11.
Right, before season 11.
Yeah.
She kept it off the show and then continued to like go, like, her and Brock went so hard at Ariana that she like wasn't being honest, or like that she didn't have to share all these parts of her, and like, you know, they're the reason that Lala's children can't be fed or something. Like, meanwhile, this giant thing is happening in her life and she keeps it off the show, and I find it just so hypocritical.
It's so hypocritical. And to think that like she was sitting in all those meetings that they were having with Jeremiah and with Alex Baskin, where they were like, what are we going to talk about on the show? And guys, you know, we really need to get this together because we really need content to make sure that we have another season of this show. And they were like, yeah, great, we can definitely deliver that. We will hammer this home to Ariana and make sure that we reveal actually nothing about our real lives.
That's actually such a good point. Like, and honestly, I'm actually pretty shocked, considering that I do feel like Scheana puts her position on the show above many other things in life. I am kind of surprised that she didn't take that opportunity to be like, this is a story, let's go.
Yeah.
Like,
unless this isn't real, and this is a made-up cheating scandal to get them back in the spotlight and to get them onto the Valley. Like, is it
that
bad?
Is out there in the ether?
Is it bad that I can believe that just as much as I can believe the cheating scandal itself? Like,
it is weird timing. Like, it's really weird time. Even Kristen was on, like, Kristen Dowdy was on Not Skinny But Not Fat podcast, and she asked her thoughts on it, and she's like, I find it kind of odd that, like, you know, they worked on it and they moved past it and they like made a pact to not talk about it. Like, why would you now?
Yeah.
come out and just like,
Yeah,
you know, throw him under the
completely,
bus, as she said. But
completely
like,
throw him under the bus. And the thing is, like in season 9, like Brock had been like so badly received, and she talks about this in the book, right? Like how Brock was so badly received that he wasn't asked back to come back for season 10. In fact, if anything, she was told like, don't film with him, we don't want him on the screens, because people didn't receive him well. So he was like a super minimal character in season 10. So like they then tried to like rehabilitate his image in season 10 and season 11 to then be like, well, that's the end of your rehab image. Here's your original like douchebag image that we had of you in season 9 all
we
over
saved
again.
it for you.
We saved it for you. So you listened to Scheana and Brock's podcast about the cheating scandal and why they finally
Yeah.
revealed it. Like, was there anything that was enlightening in that podcast that helps shine some light? Makes it
It
make
was
it
honestly, it was brutal.
Yeah,
Like it was so hard
I'm
to
sure.
listen to.
Thanks
I
for
feel,
taking one for the team, so we didn't
yeah.
have to.
I feel like it was just like her going through the motions, or like trying to, I guess, rehab him, but
Yeah,
also show that she's like being tough. So she would
right.
be like, you know, like we got married at like a second time.
Yeah,
And like, were those real tears, or were
yeah,
those like fake tears, or were you like guilty tears?
yeah,
Like, and then he's just like, no, I just like, I forgot that it had happened because I'm like really good at compartmentalizing, and I just like put it in a box and like,
yeah.
so
That's
I don't know. It was very like Andy Cohen at a reunion where she
yeah,
like technically asked the questions,
right.
but then just kind of like let whatever came out of his mouth be like,
Be
okay,
the
cool.
answer. Yeah, there was no like follow up
Um,
question of really.
yeah, it was very much just kind of like her explaining why she kept it off the show. She
Right,
said it was because like she didn't know if she was going to stay with him, and
right.
she needed to like process it on her own before she let like other voices come in,
Yeah,
and like impact the process. Which like that's fair, but it's like, this is the show that you signed up to do, about
yeah,
showing your life. And also, again, you went so hard at Ariana. You went into this Tom Sandoval redemption arc. Like, it's just like weird.
yeah.
Like,
Well, and to not like skip ahead to like the rest of the book, but basically, like, you go through this book and you learn about how much she was willing to kind of like put out there on TV, like as you say, so much so that like we find out in this book that like she's the one that like knew going into the conversation with Shay that she was gonna like basically like leave him there and then, and that like that was like a spur of the moment kind of like thing that even production didn't even know that she was gonna do that, and like he didn't know that that's what he was walking into, but she was willing to do that and like completely throw this guy underneath the bus for the show. And granted, I understand that like A, that's not great, not role model behavior, and B, you now have a child with this person and like it's a completely different situation, but there's at least some parallels there where you're kind of like, okay, so for Shay, it was ruthless reality TV, but for Brock, it's like, let's wait until the memoir comes out and then I guess we'll talk about it then. Like,
yeah,
it's,
it was really weird to leave it, to only put it in the memoir. She even said like she hadn't told her friends until it came out in the book.
yeah,
Like, apparently she just was
yeah,
gonna like take this to the grave.
yeah. But
Um,
and it's also
yeah.
just the way that it's like it's been, like it before the book came out, came out, the book comes out, after the book comes out, they do the podcast between the two of them. Now the Valley is filming, like things are being picked up, like we're finding out that they're going to be on. It just feels like all of the timing of all of the little things that have happened too perfectly for it to be an accident.
It,
I don't know.
but it's like, if they did this and this is fake,
Yeah.
that's like horrendous. Like, this
Yeah.
is like, your daughter one day is gonna read that
Right.
her dad cheated on her mom while she was pregnant with her, but it actually was like, maybe they'll be like, listen, they'll sit her down one day and be like, this was a fake
This was
story.
a fake story. You know what? Mommy and daddy had to do what we had to do to get on the TV show. So, Summer Moon, get in line, get with the program. But
Yeah,
also,
it's
like,
brutal.
of the, of the reputations that are being ruined, Brock's reputation is not great. So, does it matter that much? Like, I don't know.
No,
Like, unfortunately.
and he's like mad at the public now. He's
Yeah,
like,
mad at us.
yeah, he's like, it's none of your business. It's like, you
Right.
literally put it in a book.
Yeah.
Like,
You guys are literally capitalizing off of it, making it our business. So that's why we think it's our
yeah.
business. Of course. You're doing podcasts about it. Like, yeah, of course we think it's our business.
It's oh yeah. So that I don't know. It's really weird. It's like honestly, whether it happened or whether it didn't happen and it was faked. Like I think
Hmm.
both of them are really really bad.
Bad. Yeah.
Really just really bad.
Yeah.
And like even in this book, I feel both like sad for Sheena and also just so oh god, she just sounds so much
More
sadder and
pathetic.
like she does. She really comes off more pathetic than you even thought that she could.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which like I don't know, man. Like I don't understand why she wrote this book.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, I think like the delusion of Sheena like is thinks that this is good, and like I don't think she like no like I don't think she like sees it the same way that we read it, right? Like I think that she is like happy to get her story out there and like is doing the empowering thing by telling her story. And I don't think like the moments that like we're like, oh honey, she's not like that's not what
That's true.
I just don't think it like computes to the same way to her. Obviously, the thing that I'm thinking of the most, and I'm not sure if this is what you're thinking of, is basically finding out like how often like Sheena's position on the show was like at stake. Like basically, we find out that between seasons 6 and 7, she goes down to being like a part-time cast member. So she's not being paid as like a full-time cast member. She's being paid a daily rate. And then I think maybe that was in between season 7 and season 8. She's like demoted, so she's still
Hmm.
like getting kind of like used as a full time cast member. Even okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna jump
Yeah,
around
it
too
was season
much.
8. It
It was
was season 8 that
season
she
8 that
came back
she's
as
demoted.
demoted.
Yeah,
But you
but
would never know because she was in the main credits,
she's
and
in the main
like the only
credits.
thing that changed is that she wasn't getting paid as much money. She was
Yeah,
getting paid a day rate.
yeah,
So
and
like,
she was
and
still
then
like
that's
the
also a
she was like
season
the
she got
only
dragged.
person still working at Sir.
Yeah.
Like it was her and Dana and Brett and the new girl, Charlie,
Oh,
and Max
right.
working at Tom Tom. Like
Yeah.
oh, and I guess Raquel technically was maybe working at Sir at that time, but
Yeah.
even then, like questionable.
And and that season she got dragged. And obviously
Yeah,
like they wouldn't know going into the season that she was going to get that, but like that was not a great season for her.
no, it's not a good season for her. The way that the cast treated her as well, like the way that like Brett treated her, the way that Max treated her, like it was pretty deplorable. Like I think
Yeah.
without a doubt we can look back and like be like, yeah, this was not a good
But
time. Even if you hate Sheena, like this was not a good way to treat somebody.
no, but I think the worst part about that, so what we learned in the book is that in was it during season 7 she had gotten a residency in Vegas,
Yes,
right?
yeah. So in between season
So
6 and season 7, that's when she gets the residency in Las Vegas.
so she's and they said for you to keep your spot on the show,
Yeah,
you basically need to be here to film shifts,
yeah,
but you're not going to get paid because you're not actually working here, but we need to
yeah,
pretend that you're working here.
yeah,
And she was like, but no one else is working here. And
yeah.
they're like, that's why we need you
That's why
to
you have to
still
be the
work
one working
here.
here. You're the last person working here, and
Because
yet,
everyone else has told us to F off, but you.
but you would never do that to us, Sheena. Like we need you. You're our workhorse. Like come
Yeah.
on.
So she's flying back and forth from LA to Vegas like every single week
For 6 months. Like
for 6
every
months.
Tuesday, she flies back to Los Angeles from Las Vegas to go work at Sir, and she apparently wasn't even taking money out of the tip pool anymore. So she was basically volunteering at Sir. And granted, yes, she's making whatever money she's making in Las Vegas at doing this show, and she's making whatever money she's making on Vanderpump Rules doing that show. But she's also then working an actual shift at Sir and like not taking the tip money because she's not there often enough that she feels like
Yeah.
she needs to. And it's just like, come on,
Yeah. And then they
girl.
also don't show her residency in Vegas
Yeah.
on like they don't put that on the show, which I do
No.
remember her talking about and being mad about it. And at the
Yes.
time I was like, whatever, but now I'm like, no, I actually see why you're really pissed about
Yeah, of
that.
course.
Like
Like
that's
we're
brutal.
hearing about Ariana being so serious about her comedy and her sketch
Sketch
comedy and
comedy.
stuff. And we got to see Kristen doing sketch comedy. We got to see Dana doing her comedy stand up. Like we saw so many people doing these like random. We saw like Peter's movies being made, like all this other side stuff that these other people were doing. But I guess like Sheena doing this Las Vegas residency like didn't fit neatly into their narrative of,
I guess
well, she's the
because it's
gold
not in
gold
LA.
singer, so that's all that it is.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. She talks about it because I think she gets mad at Ariana for like not showing up to her shows or something.
Yeah, but then like when you take that into consideration, being demoted after she had done
Yeah,
that, and like
yeah,
after she had really like, I think probably gone more above and beyond than anyone else on the cast,
yeah,
to still be demoted
yeah,
right after that is like a pretty hard pill to swallow.
yeah.
She
The,
also says that
the,
apparently Andy, oh sorry,
no, no, go ahead.
like Andy apparently was like, I don't have any say in this, like
Yeah,
I don't agree, like you are Vanderpump Rules.
yeah. And you're
Do
just
we
like,
believe that Andy said you are Vanderpump Rules?
I do believe that he did say that to
Yeah.
her. Yes, 100%. I do think it's interesting that he doesn't think that he has any sway. Like, yeah, he's probably not like ultimately a decision maker, but like if he was having conversations with people, like he probably could have a little bit of sway at Bravo. Bravo Andy, like come on.
Yeah,
Literally,
yeah. I think he would have influence for
at least
sure.
at this point in time, yes. Like maybe if it was like early days of Vanderpump Rules or early days of any of the Housewives, like sure, maybe not, but like he's got some sway. He's got to have some sway at this point. If you've been at Bravo as long as Andy Cohen has been at Bravo, and you don't have at least a little bit of influence, like there's a problem there.
Yeah.
You're the Scheana Shay of your workplace. Sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Um,
Yeah, but then again, so season 9, she then gets re-promoted, and then in season 10, she gets demoted again. So it's like she's just like being abused by Bravo, and it just goes to show that like you just can't trust an employer. Like you really just gotta like look after yourself here, guys. Like, come on, this is so
yeah.
ridiculous. And then the whole reason that they were like, oh, in season 10 you can't be a full-time cast member was because she had revealed that she had a house in San Diego that they were
Oh
living
yeah.
at, and so that was like the whole reason that she couldn't be like a full-time cast member. And she was
So
like,
she like broke the like
yeah, the
facade of like
facade
we
of
all
like
live
we
in
all
like
live in
Hollywood or
LA.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But she, like at the same time, like Raquel slash Rachel was like living at her apartment in Marina Del Rey. So, and plus Marina Del Rey, like the way that LA works, like some things are so far away that even if you're living in San Diego, like it's probably not even that far. But like the commuting time is crazy. Like maybe it's
It's
not
true.
that
Like the
different.
time, like when Jax like refused to go to the beach because it was like
Well,
3 hours
he
away or
refused to go to
something.
Marina Del
Marina Del
Rey.
Rey. Yeah.
Which granted is far,
Yeah.
especially with
No,
LA traffic.
seriously.
It's insane. But
Yeah. That's
uh,
crazy. I
it's so
don't
crazy.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, and it does kind of make me think a little bit more of maybe why she was such a ride or die and willing to go on with what we think was production's plot of like
mm,
Sandoval redemption arc, is maybe she
right.
was just like, I got back onto full-time cast member and I'll
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
yeah,
But wouldn't you think it would more make her be like, you've already done their bidding and you've been like their puppet? Like she even says like she self-proclaimed like
yeah,
would do whatever Lisa Vanderpump wanted,
yeah.
and she's seen that it hasn't paid off. So I don't
Yeah.
understand, like it almost makes her actions in season 11 worse.
Yes, it definitely makes her actions in season 11 worse because she was like, you've been abused by this system. You're now trying to abuse one of your colleagues within this system as well. Like,
Who's
and
like your best friend?
who's allegedly your best friend. And I know I get it. Like maybe it's kind of like Stockholm syndrome where she's like been like promoted and demoted and promoted and demoted, and you're just like snip 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 snip, they can't like, can't go get back out of. um but yeah, I don't understand it. Yeah, that was an interesting other revelation though, was that allegedly Lisa Vanderpump used to call Scheana like basically every single morning to be like, hey, so this is the conversation I want you to have today.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
But
Wild.
not like unfathomable. Like you can
No.
definitely see that.
Yeah. And yet here we are.
And yet here we
I guess
are.
that's what she's doing now with those new kids at Sir. Like this is the
For sure.
second reign of Vanderpump at Sir.
Yeah. But now apparently Lisa is like giving her the cold shoulder because she took a
Yeah.
picture with Kyle
Kyle
Richards.
Richards. How dare she? Unacceptable. That's the end of Lala
uh
and Sheena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was interesting. Is like you just don't know who's a main cast member and who's a friend of, the same way that you can in, like, I feel like in a Real Housewives, you know who's friend of. Like it's
Hmm.
pretty evident. They don't
Yes.
get a tagline,
Yeah.
and they're only really at cast trips or like big parties.
Yeah.
Whereas this, like, you would not have known.
No, that's just it. Like I wouldn't have guessed that she'd been demoted until maybe season 10. Like you could kind of see the way that she was being treated in the filming for that especially at the beginning. Um but I think that I guess I thought that because of the way that Brock had also been like received in season 9, that like
Hmm.
maybe she was demoted, he was asked to not come back. Um
Wait, was it Scheana who like wasn't even on the trailer? Remember when we were like talking about how someone wasn't in the
I
trailer?
think you might be right. Oh my god, that actually makes so much sense now. Oh my god. Do you remember how fired up we were for the beginning of season 10? We were like, this is VPR, it's back. This is going to be amazing. And it was. This is going to be the best season ever. And it was. It was so good. And we had no idea. Like, the reason it was going to be the best season ever wasn't even like happening yet. Like, it was
I
still.
know. I know. You
It's
can't
crazy.
relive that. That was a
No.
wild, wild time.
Yeah.
And then season 11 happened, the dumpster fire that it was,
Yeah.
that we will never get over.
Unfortunately. Well, it's kind of, I feel like it's like anticlimactic now to kind of like go backwards and go through some of
Yeah.
the go through some of the other revelations of the book. But I think we should still touch on them because it's kind of interesting to kind of like learn little bits and pieces of like what's going on. So
Hmm.
Scheana at the beginning of the book talks about how she was at Villa Blanca for 1 year before Lisa was even like on the Housewives. And then when Lisa got on the Housewives, that was actually a little bit of like a nice reprieve for everybody because all of a sudden her attention wasn't like fully on her restaurants; it was on like this other thing. But pretty quickly, it becomes evident that like Lisa is already kind of creating and manufacturing the opportunities for Scheana and Brandy to kind of like run into each other, which I think is just really interesting because to think that on season 2 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and season 3 into season 3 of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Lisa Vanderpump was already thinking about like how do I get a spin-off out of this? Like how do I get a show that's specifically about me like out of this other thing? Like it just feels so early on in kind of like Bravo and like the Housewives in general for her already to be kind of like playing that like 4D chess. Um
Yeah.
but yeah, she
Yeah.
was doing it.
That was okay. That was interesting. It was like not that the drama between Brandy and her was made up, because like,
Yeah, because it wasn't.
you know,
It was awkward.
Sheena slept with her husband,
Yeah.
so or not knowing at the time.
Yeah.
But I guess that she like manufactured the fact that they were like constantly running into each other to make these explosive moments, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's also kind of weird because if you think about it, Sheena, let's say we pretend that the Brock cheating scandal is real. Sheena then experiences what Brandy experienced at the beginning of Vanderpump Rules. Like technically,
Oh my god, the full circle.
Sheena's at the full circle experience in which she is now the pregnant wife at home being cheated on
Oh my
by
god.
this like douchebag dude and this other woman, and like it's so crazy. Like if it's real,
I
that's legitimately crazy.
It's so true. Also, okay, I'm so sorry to go back to the Sheena and Brock thing, but
Yeah,
I forgot to
how could
say
we
this
not?
too.
Yeah.
I know. But like, because then we went into like, is it real conspiracy theory?
Hmm.
This man let her marry him
Yeah.
not once, but twice, knowing that he cheated on her. Like, to
Yeah.
me, that is literally like non-consensual marriage.
Yeah.
Like you're like, I can't, like, how
Yeah.
diabolical
Yeah.
do you have to be?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. You're
Yeah.
literally walking into marriage not knowing the full story.
Especially because he's like using her for like green cards. Like he is like fully like being like we need to get married so I can get a green card, like so I can secure my residency like in the United States, so I can like yeah, I can get my bag. Like he's a leech.
No, but
He is
actually,
a
like, I'm
cockroach. He's a
sorry.
leech.
It's like, it's really bad. And then also like at the point where he tells her they
Yeah,
have a child together, it's been 2 years.
they're
She's now
married.
like,
They've
they're married
like
twice.
like they've
Now like,
like I don't know if they've like bought their house in like Sherman Oaks yet, but like they were settling in together. Like they were
Yeah, like
fully
there's
like,
so much more to untangle
yeah,
at this point.
yeah,
And she did say actually in the podcast too, like she's like, you know, it had been so long since this had happened, and like I didn't want it to ruin like the life that we'd made together. And
right,
it's like you can't help but think that was probably his plan
yeah,
and what he was banking on.
yeah. He was entrapping
Like
you. This is entrapment. Like,
like
literally,
blink
like,
twice if you need
yeah,
help. Like I just
literally.
yeah,
I know.
and to be fair, like I truly can't imagine the type of mental hell that she had gone through,
Yeah,
like finding this out and
yeah,
being like, well, we're in a good place and like it's been 2 years and we have this life together. Like, what do I
yeah,
do? Like, that's incredibly confusing and
yeah.
like,
But
uh,
also, like the idea that he like forgot about it, like, oh,
I'm sorry.
I forgot where I put my passport. Like, what?
I
Like you
forgot
forget?
that I
Oh, I
cheated on you
forgot that I
multiple
cheated
times.
on you for like a month while you were pregnant. Like,
It's just like, how do you live with yourself at that point? Like, how do you
yeah,
not wake up every single day
yeah,
terrified that this
yeah,
news is going to come out or
right.
like just like feeling ashamed?
And then also this whole thing about how he wrote it down, like, so like a year after it happened he got drunk and like wrote down all of the details about it to like share it with her, so that she like then had a piece of paper with all the information about like the cheating scandal. And then
Yeah.
she like took it and she like burned it when she like found out. It's just like, part of me is also like that's also maybe why I'm suspicious about like the legitimacy of this conversation, because it's like, what, these are really weird facts, like, but also they're really weird people, so maybe I'm just not able to put two and two together because they're not two plus two kind of people, like.
Yeah. Yeah, and then also like she was saying that like she was even more kind of mad because like his confession, like he couldn't even have like put like care into his confession. He was
Right,
drunk and there was like spelling mistakes.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
exactly. Which honestly, like some of the things that I see that my fellow colleagues submit as well, like the spelling mistakes are insane. Like I just don't understand like what's going on. Well, guys, we need more education.
did
Like,
you
this is a
also see
problem.
like just a more lighthearted meme? The meme
Yeah.
that was like, I could forgive Brock for cheating, but I cannot forgive him for this. And it was like a picture of him doing confessional in the after show, and it was like the
Or was
like
it the
patent
heel?
leather pointy
Oh, I
heel
know.
boots.
The heels were so bad. They're almost as bad as Jax's lifts, but not quite. I think Jax's lifts are still worse. Yeah, I know. And just the fact that like she like I get it. The way that somebody treats you versus the way that like what you hear about them are like two different things. And so like she has the information of like this domestic violence suit, this like multiple children back home in Australia, like that he's like
Not
abandoned,
paying
and like not
alimony.
paying alimony to, and her paying his alimony, and like her paying his legal things, and like all this stuff. And like, do you wonder if one day Scheana wakes up and is like, why did I do all this stuff for this man? Like, I gave
I
Shay
mean, yeah.
$50,000 to get away from me, and I paid Brock's livelihood for all of this time. Like, I gave him everything that he needed, and he still couldn't couldn't
Yeah.
couldn't keep it in his pants. Still couldn't keep it in
You
his
just like,
pants.
that's the part of that you feel bad about Sheena in this book is because like I feel like it just validates what we always knew about her, which is like this girl just really wants it. Like she's
Yeah,
just like, and it's not even attention, it's like love. Like
yeah.
we've always said that about her, right? Like she
Hmm.
just has like such a deep yearning to be loved and to be cared for that
Loved,
it kind of like,
accepted, like
yeah,
seen, all of these things. It's
it comes across as being boy crazy,
yeah,
but I feel like ultimately she just like wants someone to like love her, and I feel like
yeah,
she's very blind to a lot of things
yes,
in search of that.
yeah. Well, and also very gullible, because a
Yeah.
couple a couple other revelations that come up in this book is that like, so obviously we have the whole like Eddie cheating on Brandy thing with Sheena, like she discusses at length kind of like those like kind of like how that's happened. And basically she was working at this like cigar lounge in LA, and some like one of her colleagues was like, "Oh, I think that he might be married." And so she asks him like, "Hey,
And
should you be wearing like a wedding ring right now?" Basically, and he's like, "No, I don't know what you're talking about." And she's like, "Okay."
She
I got
had
my
no
answer.
access. She had no access to the internet.
No.
She could not have
Well,
searched it.
apparently her phone didn't get internet. Like, even though it was like 2010, I don't know. Like, there was other ways to get internet, even if your phone specifically didn't get internet. But
Yeah,
okay.
it
And
is.
even then, like, so there, she's also talks about like how like Shay like was accused by like friends of like stealing Vicodin, and he's like, no, I didn't do that, and she's like, checks out.
She's like, well, I asked.
Well,
It with the anything though, it is funny that like so many years later, she still is just like so adamantly on like the
yeah.
I didn't know and I had no way of
No
knowing and
idea. I
like
couldn't have known. There
there
were
was no way I
tabloids.
could have done a Google search. Like,
He was telling me that he was fine, so I didn't. There was no reason for me to check up further than
the,
that.
the internet, like, isn't that kind of what you read a memoir on too? Is like maybe you'll be like, well, I've thought about it, and
Yeah,
after the years, I think
yeah.
maybe I could have done
Maybe
a little bit more to figure out if he was married.
maybe I could actually do a little bit of introspection here and see why there might be some links between me and the men that I've been tied to and the different things that have gone on.
No, that's not what this book was for. This
That's
book
not.
was to tell us that her husband cheated
Yeah.
and that she has slept with multiple
She's up
celebrities.
with a lot of celebrities. It's true. But then, so then the other thing that she reveals about her relationship with Shay that is like just goes to show how gullible she is that Shay had apparently like logged into like Instagram or something on her phone,
Oh
and
yeah.
she had received she'd seen like a message basically from like somebody that like DM'd him like talking about like sexy stuff. I don't want to go into the details. You don't want to hear it come out of my mouth. Um, but basically, she like confronts him like, "Hey, are you cheating on me? Like, look at all this evidence." And he's like, "No, they just want to hang out with us." Like, that's a fan trying to like meet up with us. I don't know
Oh
what you're talking
yeah.
about. And apparently, and she's like, well, like you're deleting the messages after you respond to them and see them. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, okay.
That's just how technology works.
This is Snapchat, Scheana. Like they disappear after I send them. Snapchat was specifically invented for Michael Shay to be able to cheat on Scheana.
Well, that was the other thing is she
Uh,
said that like he was cheating on her or like emotionally at least and
if not,
she
yeah, if not
chose
literally, he was definitely at
if
least
not
messaging other
possible
people.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But on the show she chose to instead
Yeah.
expose his drug habit and not that he was cheating.
Yes, because that was the one that would be easier to talk about. Apparently, like it's interesting. It's interesting. It was a choice.
Yeah.
It was a choice. It wasn't one that. It wasn't one that I don't know. I don't know if it's the one that I would have gone with, but I guess it's the one that she felt better about going with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then after that, after they break up, we find out that she gave him $50,000 to go away, basically, even though he had like still already been like stealing money from her and like had been doing other stuff, and he like was literally living off of her as well. So yeah, but no ill will between those two. They're still good friends.
Do you think she has to like pay him to keep using his name?
I don't think so. I hope not.
No, I don't think so. But like,
Like I think that she's well within her rights to still be talking about him. Um,
it's more just funny that she continues to use his last name because it sounds good.
yes. Well, I mean it does though. Like Scheana
Yeah,
Shay, like it's perfect. I wouldn't change it either.
it is.
Okay, I have two random reveals here that don't really have a place in anything else, completely out of context. But Sheena and Tom Sandoval, apparently, before they were even stars, like when they were working at Villa Blanca, were already talking about how they wanted to be on Dancing with the Stars. Which I just thought was so funny.
She would put into the book that she's always wanted to
I've
be on Dancing
always
with the
wanted to be
Star.
on Dancing with the Stars.
Like
Even before I
Sheena,
was famous, I wanted to be on Dancing with
like
the
it's
Stars.
just getting sadder.
It's
Like
just
just
like
stop. Like
there's
it's just no.
there's other reality TV shows that you could be on, but I guess being on Dancing with the Stars implies that you don't necessarily need a lot of like dancing talent because the dancing person. But if you went on to like So You Think They Can Dance or whatever, you would be up against dancers.
Yeah.
But Dancing with the Stars is up against celebrities. Like it's It doesn't make any sense.
It's just like now every season that she doesn't get on, it just feels like
I
sad.
know, especially now that we know that the two of the Mormon mom talk ones have gotten on. So,
Like, yeah.
oops. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're really good dancers. We're gonna find out.
Well, I think that one of
Yeah,
doesn't Whitney have a background in dance?
Whitney apparently does have a background in dance, which I had
Yeah.
no idea about. And Jen just, she grew up in the hood, so she's got talent.
She twerks on the table.
Catch me outside. catch me, Jen. Catch me outside. Affleck. And then the other random one that doesn't have a place in anything around here is the fact that Rob was like Rob from season 6.
How
I
could we
think
forget?
Rob hung up a TV in 2 minutes. He apparently spent 2 hours doing his fantasy football draft and then broke up with her. So she just like had to like wait at his house for him to break up with her for 2 hours. You're just
So
like,
those are one of the pathetic moments I was talking about.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, honey,
girl, like you break up with him, like.
Or the moment I was thinking about was when she like went to a strip club with like a person she was seeing, and he like left her for the stripper.
Oh my god.
Something.
I don't even remember that one. Oh, Scheana. It's honestly, have you ever seen the episode of How I Met Your Mother where Katy Perry like guest stars?
That's exactly what I've been thinking this whole time.
That's what I think every time. I'm like, oh, honey.
Yeah.
Come on.
And like, so you actually got me onto the podcast, Celebrity Book Club.
Yeah. Which inspired this episode.
Yeah, which inspired this episode, and I was listening to it, and I'm not sure if like the way I'm reading it is also covered and like colored by some of the way that they were talking about it.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. They're just like, "Oh my god, Scheana, you're just such a sad, pathetic loser." I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But like some of the stuff in this book, like you're just like, "Oh god!" Like
even the way that she like sets up the book, like at the very beginning of the book, she's like, "For anybody that knows me knows that I am not a follower. I have always been somebody who paves my own path." And then she like proceeds to talk about all the ways that she has been used and abused by VPR, by all these awful men, like, and yet like complete like it's all over her head of like how mistreated she's been her entire life.
Yeah.
Like, it's
actually, that was another part of the podcast that made me laugh out loud, is when they're like, for someone who's a self-proclaimed people pleaser, I've never seen someone who pleases people less. Like, people really feel strongly about her.
It's so true. Oh my god. And it's so funny too, like the number of like Stassi versus Scheana like TikToks and stuff that I've seen now that are like, you're either Scheana or you're Stassi, and like this is what is like and like it's true, like Stassi is very like, I am the devil and don't you forget it, like I am like gonna dark passenger, like I am gonna be the most difficult person in your life, and you will love me or I will leave.
You will hate me. Or or I will leave. But that's it. Is I think with Scheana, it's also less about people pleasing, and it's more that she just like is so wishy-washy, and she just rides the fence, and she just doesn't stand for anything. So she's like very easily swayed, and like it's always if you stand for nothing, what will you fall for? And it's just like, that's what it is
literally, that is it. And that has also always been like, or allegedly was for a long time, like Stassi's issue with her, all of the girls' issue with her was the fact that she wanted to be able to kind of like ride the fence and like be on both sides and like see both sides of things, and like, well, she's my friend and he's your friend and like this and that and everything and whatever. And it's not it's a way to live your life, and I guess we have our feelings about it,
but isn't it funny that she opens the book, to your point, with saying,
I am a follower.
I'm not a follower.
Yeah.
And it's just like, doesn't that just kind of make you think about the level of lack of introspection?
Yeah, well, that's just it. And I guess that's maybe also why you shouldn't be like, I don't know, 35, 37. I don't know exactly how old she is.
I don't think she's 35. I think she's probably like, I think they're all like 40 now, or at least 39.
All right, so she's between 35 and 45. And
someone who's now almost 35. I'm like, she's not 35.
Okay, she's in between 37 and 42. I don't even remember what my point was anymore.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's okay. It wasn't worth it.
We're talking about lack of introspection and putting
Oh
out a
yeah,
book.
like it's just too early to be doing a memoir in some respects, right? Like it's just you haven't you're still living your life. You're still in the thick of it. Like yes, it's kind of good timing with kind of like the way that your life is currently. Like you just had this huge chapter end with Vanderpump Rules and everything, but like you haven't you're still in the thick of it. You're still like raising your child. You're still living with your husband. Like maybe give
True.
yourself like a good 10-15 years to kind of like have some time to like look back and be like that happened. I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Yeah. Well, no, and I also think maybe not even 10 or 15 years, but I do think it would have been more interesting to see this after they're like fully away from like Vanderpump Rules,
Mm,
the Valley. We
yeah.
know that they still want to continue moving these things forward. Like,
Mhm.
I would be interested in like something when you're like, I'm done with that forever. And now I
Yeah,
can come out and say all of the things
yeah,
and like really
yes,
think back on it
yeah,
and like
yeah,
actually have something different to say.
yeah, because this just
Like,
kind of felt like it was a rehearsal or a audition tape for the Valley, right? Like it's here, look at how much more I'm willing to share about my life if you give me the opportunity.
well, could
You
we?
like you
Okay, we
like
just
what's in here? Come
we
come get it.
we talked, but also if that's a fact, and if she actually had to audition
For the
or
Valley.
feel that she had to audition
Yeah.
for a show that she
We
basically
started.
started,
Yeah, literally. Her
like
blood, sweat,
that's
and
so
tears went into
sad.
creating that show. And she's like,
Like,
me too, please. Two
and
more
they're
for
like,
me,
I
please.
will trash my whole life for a spot back at the table.
I will literally die for this TV show. You can demote me. You can pay me my season 1 day rate, and I'll take it. They didn't
I
have day
don't
rates
even
probably
need to
back
be
then, but
paid.
yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
will volunteer for this show. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh, I'm
I'm
so
sure she was
sorry.
gonna, but like that's just that's it at the end of the day. Like I think her demotions show that like they're usually based on like perception, like fan perception of the cast.
Right.
So it's like if you're not gonna win back the favor, like I feel like she would just get so much further in life if she just like stuck her to quote Maya from Love Island, if
Yeah.
she what was it? Is like last I checked, I
Stuck all
had 10
10
toes.
toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Stand on business with all 10 of my toes.
Yeah, like I feel like if she just was like a little bit less like wishy-washy in the ways
Right.
that she feels with things, like people would think differently of her. But like
Yeah.
even in the way that she's showing this stuff with Brock in the
Hmm.
podcast, she's trying to both, you know, not shame him, but like she's trying to scold him a little bit and hold
Yeah.
him accountable.
Yeah.
But then she's also trying to like win back favor with
Yeah.
him for
Yeah.
him, like in that same podcast, and
Yeah.
it just reads as nothing.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
and it's going to be interesting to see how they navigate like the Valley for season 3 because you've already rehabbed his image once on Vanderpump Rules. How are you going to do it now? Like what's the master plan for
no,
like
like there's
getting him back on
nothing.
any of our good side? Like we're
I
not
don't think there's a
interested.
redemption for Brock.
There's
Like
no
you
redemption for
can't.
Mark.
Like
This is
you've
the
tried multiple
worst.
times,
Yeah.
but I also feel bad too that like it's hard to be like it's a hard position to be in to feel like you have to be making up for your partner or
Yeah.
like putting him back in people's good graces or
Right.
like making excuses of like why he is the way that he is.
Yeah.
Granted, she put herself in that position and this is the man that you chose to be with and like
Yeah.
that's the life you're going to have. Oh, I just
Oh.
like hit my foot on something.
Yeah, like it always makes me think of like so in Mrs. Maisel and the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, the TV show.
So
When
good.
it's so good, it's literally amazing. When Joel leaves Midge, she goes to her dad and he asks her like, I warned you about Joel," and she's like, "How did you warn me about Joel?" And he says like, "Before you guys got married, I said." This is the one, and she's like, yeah, this is the one. And she was like, that was your sign of like you telling me. And it's kind of the same thing with like Brock, where it's like, this is the one, and she's like, yeah, that's the one, right? And all of us are like, no, I don't think this is the one. And she's like, yeah, good guy. This is a mensch. Like,
She's like, he
unbelievable.
might have cheated on me multiple
Multiple
times.
times, and I don't know it yet, but this is the one.
Yeah, I don't know. I just walk away feeling sad for Scheana.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, and then one of the other revelations that makes me feel so sad for Scheana is that she doesn't even own the rights to Good as Gold.
But that's the thing, is like we feel sad for Scheana about things that Scheana has done to
Yeah,
herself.
because she must have signed a contract that
But she
says
doesn't have the
she doesn't
contract.
have the contract, and like she doesn't hasn't like pulled up any kind of like court records. Like it's got to be somewhere, right?
Yeah, like it for
Like,
sure exists. And if they don't have enough like evidence to show that this contract exists and that
exists.
you said yes to
Yeah.
this, then
Like what? Like
then it
go
shouldn't be
after them.
enforceable.
You surely should have been able to make enough money over the like years to like have at least at one point hired a like an entertainment attorney that could have like gone and got those for you, because
Right?
who did Uber pay all that money to when you guys did that Uber One commercial? That was literally the best commercial in the entire world. Like what
Savings.
savings?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm so upset by that. That was one of the facts that like when I read
Yeah.
that I like was like typing like furiously. She doesn't own the rights to Good as Gold. Unbelievable.
I also just
Uh,
want to take a moment to think about the celebrities who woke up with like a Google alert that
of
they
themselves.
of
I mean, honestly,
themselves.
if they woke up
I'm
with a
sure,
Google alert of themselves, then that's on them.
no,
Like,
I'm sure they do. Okay, whatever. But like in somehow, or like they were sent a TikTok or
yeah,
whatever. They woke up
yeah,
and then they found out that there was in a book that they
yeah,
had hooked up with Scheana Shay
yeah.
like
Oh,
10 or whatever years ago.
here we should pull it up the like, list of celebrities.
And then also the amazing memes that followed of just like all the guys that she's like allegedly hooked up with that are like
Yeah.
famous, like Jesse Metcalf and like who are the other ones?
So okay, so it was Eddie Cibrian, obviously we know, John Mayer, Jesse Metcalf, Jesse McCartney, Shane West.
Jesse McCartney, like teen heartthrob.
And then there's the two guys from The Notebook. And then like
Yes. Wait, so
NFL and
that means
NBL
Ryan
players.
Gosling?
No, I don't think it means Ryan Gosling. Because I think if it was Ryan Gosling, she would have said Ryan Gosling.
James
Marsden is one person that people are assuming it could be, and then
There's not
it's
that many guys in the Notebook.
Kevin Connolly, I think his name is, the guy from Entourage.
Mm.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure he's Ryan Gosling's like friend.
So like, why are those the ones that you can't say their
Yeah,
name?
like, do you think James Marsden was like particularly litigious? He did jury duty, and all of a sudden he's gonna come after you, or was
I
it two
mean,
like
Sonic.
completely like no name people like down, not even like listed in the Notebook, and they just happened to be on the set of the Notebook, and she was like hooked up with them, and she was like,
Yeah.
those two.
It was actually one of the extras.
Yeah, literally, they got screen time in the Notebook, so that
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so special.
Yeah, it's just so funny. Then they're like, and then you chose this guy.
And this is the guy. And this
and
is the
Shay.
guy.
It
Yeah,
was
exactly.
Shay and it was
Well,
Brock.
okay. Well, what was your first impression of Brock? Because yeah, what was your first impression of Brock? Like before you knew him, before you heard him talk, anything? Like, did you have an
Well,
impression
like
of him?
he had the long hair, so
Yeah, you
I
thought
don't think it was
it
good.
wasn't favorable. Okay, because I remember when they went to Bali, and she talks about that in the book too, like all them first meeting and like the whole thing of them like going to this festival together, and then they go to like Australia together, and they go to Bali together, and he like surprised her with like those trips and stuff. And I remember when those Bali pictures came out of like them at like a waterfall, and he's like holding her like over, and like we were like, me and my roommate were like, oh my god, Scheana has found her love match. Like she has found the one. Like look at this guy, and he's so muscular, and he's like holding her up like this. Like this is so amazing. We love this for her. And then obviously season 9 airs, and like I was so put off by him that like I didn't even finish the season. Like I only watched it a few years ago.
That's so funny.
But
Yeah, I
it
can't
was so
remember
bad.
thinking about like what I
Didn't
thought
have any
about him
first impressions.
physically.
Okay, I just remember being like, oh,
Yeah.
sexy.
But it was
love
also some of the way, like some of the story of like the way they first met was also just like really sketchy.
Yes.
And that he like literally the chapter about him is called like Three White Lies or something, like
right. Yes.
because like the way that they started off like started with a series of lies that she I guess thought were cute.
Yeah, exactly. And like the way that he was just kind of like a leech like to her, like she basically was like, oh, I'm gonna go to this festival tomorrow, and he's like, oh my god, amazing, I have tickets, like I'll see you there. And then she's like, oh my god, I have VIP tickets, like I'll get you in. And so she gives him a VIP ticket, and he never had tickets. He was gonna like allegedly buy them, but
Yeah, and then the fact that like they were somewhere else and her friend like forgot
her
their
jacket,
jacket,
yeah,
and then he like flew to go get it.
yeah,
Like
and like
that's
it's
not
just
normal.
no. And he like brings her like chicken soup or something because she was like sick, and she was like, oh my god, he loves me, he's like taking care of me, like look at this. And it's like, no, this is like mooch behavior. Like if you ever like listen to like the beginning of like Dirty John the podcast, or like watch the Netflix
Yeah,
version of it, like
I think I did both.
this is how the guy like starts off the like story, is like he's like kind of like doing these like little love bomby kind of things that like get you interested in him. And he like creates this facade of like, yeah, I'm going to the same festival as you, like I can afford the lifestyle that you have, I can do all these things that you are doing.
Yeah, I
I'm
could afford it if you pay for me.
I could definitely buy tickets last minute. Like, yes, for sure, I can definitely do that. Um, one thing, okay, okay, no, we'll save it. I think we need to save it for a fact checking podcast, because he also talks about like she talks about like him basically like proposing to her, and the whole like love story of them kind of like getting engaged, and the way that that plays out on season 9. And I just think it's very interesting that her version of events are very different than what played out in TV.
Yeah, yeah, we
So
have to do a fact
I
check.
think we
I
need to do a
mean,
fact check.
some of it is, but then again, like we're just looking at the level of kind of like delusion. You're like,
Yeah.
maybe she didn't mean to misconstrue it. Maybe that's just the way that she sees it. I don't
Maybe that's
know.
the way that she sees it
Maybe I'm
now.
being too nice.
Maybe she hasn't gone back and watched season 9. But I think any of us that have eyes and we're watching season 9, like even Lala, I think if Lala was gonna tell the story of kind of like how Brock and Scheana were supposed to get engaged, I think Lala would have very different feelings
True.
about that.
When do we think Lala's tell-all is going to come out now?
Well, she's already had a book.
She did?
Yeah, she did. What was it? I think it was just called "To Give Them Lala."
Oh, you're right.
I didn't read it. We could read it next.
Yeah, I guess maybe we
Yeah,
could begrudgingly
we could
read it.
we could see what's in it. I'd be curious,
Yeah.
because she was still with Randall when it came out, so it'd probably be a very different story than what's out there
Dang,
now.
fact check that book.
Fact check that book, yeah, heavily.
So, but yeah, this was a fun episode back.
Yeah.
I'm glad that we were able to do that.
Yeah.
Let us know what you're watching, because the Valley's done now. I think we're in like a little bit of a Bravo lull, but there is a lot of really good TV out there.
Yeah.
There's the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders that came out a little bit
Yeah,
ago
season 2. Oh,
that I
that'd
have
be
yet
fun.
to finish.
Yeah.
We watched a bunch of it on like our planes throughout
Yes.
Italy.
Yeah, amazing. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have to tell you about our trip.
Oh yeah.
Which, let us know if you want to know that. We
Yeah.
can talk about it in the fact check. So Iris can go to bed,
There
because
you
we
go.
have a time difference.
Just a little bit, as you can see. But I still look fresh and bright, right?
Oh, yeah, bright-eyed,
Bright-eyed,
bushy-tailed. Honestly, a lot of the time I feel like you actually look more awake and alive than I do. It's like
That's because I come alive at night. Actually, I have to go get my dog because she's outside on the patio.
Oh no!
Thing. I should go check on her, but
Probably.
yeah. But yeah, let us know what you want us to talk about next, and yeah, we'll do a fact check next week. That'll be our second episode back.
Did you read Scheana's book? Do you like it? How do you feel about some of these revelations?
Yeah. How do you feel about our responses to it?
Yeah.
We have some takes.
Bye.
Bye.